and just wait for H.O.T-Forever to push out with the Devourers and couple of Guardians we're likely to see here. This is definitely an interesting turn. We don't normally see this at all. Don't often see big air in Xerphus Protoss anymore. But Grrr's coming in now. H.O.T-Forever forced to cancel the Mutalisk morphing. So that's a pretty good move by Grrrr. Grrr's able to just harass those overlords some more and delay the high tech units of H.O.T-Forever for a little bit longer, get some more carriers out, or get some carriers out rather, and get that interceptor count higher, which is pretty key. If you don't have enough interceptors, those carriers are of course not effective, but they're going to be pretty highly upgraded. Looks like H.O.T-Forever is now transferring some drones with drop. I think that Grrrr might still have an advantage, given that he had an extra expansion up for a while. Looks like Devourer's out for H.O.T-Forever now, going to be able to chase those Corsairs away with Scourge and Devourers. Devourers are, of course, quite effective against any air unit, and Scourge are pretty effective against Corsairs, because Corsairs are just so slow. Not Corsairs, carriers rather. Carriers are really slow and really large targets. They're pretty easy to hit with Scourge, but they do have a lot of health. So I think H.O.T-Forever picking up another expansion. Looks like a mineral only, which is okay, not as good as gas. He definitely needs gas more than minerals at this moment, I think, considering that he is going for this bigger air build now. 2 carriers out for Grrrr. He needs to get some more out. Looks like a 3rd carrier out now. But still with a pretty significant number of Corsairs and a lot of cannons protecting that base. So H.O.T-Forever is going to have his work cut out for him. Looks like he's scouting now with his Scourge. Gotta say, pretty interesting game so far. Definitely not the standard of what you would see now, which is pretty refreshing, I suppose. In a pretty funny sort of way, given that this was played 9 years ago. What are your thoughts on the game at the moment, Tuck?
Well, I think it's fairly even. I mean, H.O.T-Forever is just getting a Nidus canal now, so he'll be able to ferry large amounts of Hydralisks to his expansions should they come under attack from the carriers, as well as those so Devourers and the Scourge. The Hydralisk can take out the Corsairs while the Scourge and Devourers work on the carriers. I think that could work in his favour.
The only problem is that he needs large amounts of Hydralisk, and to be honest, neither player's macro has been particularly impressive at the moment. Definitely showing that this is 2000, and players' mechanics certainly weren't up to the level that they are now. It looks like H.O.T-Forever's pushing out now with a pretty... Oh no, maybe retreating, with a couple of Devourers and a large number of Scourge, but I think that's not going to be enough to take down the large aerial force that Grrrr has at the moment. That's a lot of carriers. Oh, no, a lot of Corsairs rather, and those carriers backing them up will just make them so deadly. Carriers really are quite powerful, and I'm not sure if they're... how more or less powerful they were back in the day. I think they may have been more powerful.
It looks like 1-1 upgrades for Devourers and Scourge.
Ooh, big battle here. The Devourers hitting the Corsairs, which is pretty key. They're going to be slowed down significantly. The Mutalisk taking a lot of hits for these Devourers. Devourers, of course, quite effective against the air, although Grrrr able to retreat with these interceptors. Pretty good micro. A Guardian in the fray for some reason being taken down fairly easily by those carriers. Devourers taking down one carrier. Corsair's going to work on the Devourers, though. The Devourers were targeting interceptors, I think, and H.O.T-Forever forced to retreat, although he did would have done pretty good damage against those Corsairs, and managed to kill a carrier or two, so probably not the trade-off he was looking for, but certainly not horrible. Looks like Grrrr is expanding again, and this is interesting that the Protoss player is being so aggressive with his expansions. I guess he can he can be on an island map, but it'll be interesting to see whether he chooses to do that in a non-island map game. Whether this was the sort of standard for Protoss back then to be more aggressive than the Zerg with expansions. And it looks like someone typed something to the other player. I think this was before chat was banned in pro games, so players were able to talk with each other during the games. Not that I think they would know all that much, but probably just smack talk or try and enrage their opponents so they make mistakes. I think that's common in fairly common in leagues that allow you to use the chat function in game.
Or something.
Yeah, I think H.O.T-Forever needs to rather go for the frontal assault on Grrr's now main base. He needs to attack Grrr's new expansion and take that down before it goes up. Looks like these Corsairs getting another Overlord kill. They have been well worth their weight in gold. But a fairly large force coming out here. A lot of Scourge, a couple of Devourers. I think it'd be better to spend his larvae and gas on more Devourers, though, to be honest. I think Scourge have gone beyond their point of usefulness when there's that many Corsairs and carriers. And that's a lot of carriers. What is that, like 6 or 7? I didn't quite get the numbers there. And these Corsairs coming in now to attack these Guardians, but Mutilis and Devourers just forcing those Corsairs away fairly well. That Scourge is able to take down that last Corsair pretty well. The carriers coming in now, targeting the Guardians by the looks of things, and a lot of Scourge come in, but only take down 1 or 2 carriers. They weren't cloned at all. They weren't targeting single carriers each, or in groups of 3 or 4, as would be the most efficient. And these Devourers just coming in right next to those. Right next to those carriers and able to do a lot of damage to them, slow them down. But I think they are going to be forced away because that is just a lot of interceptors in the air. There's Scourge coming in again now, taking down 1 carrier by the looks of things. I think that H.O.T-Forever might come out on top of this battle. I think Zerg Big Air, when it has that many Devourers, is better than Protoss Big Air. It's going to be close though, I think. H.O.T-Forever, last carriers go down. No, 1 carrier remaining. And that's a lot of Corsairs though. 1 Guardian still assaulting this Nexus. But I think that
Go.
Sorry?
No, don't worry. I just said go, Guardian, go.
Oh, it looks like this Guardian might be able to take down this Nexus, and it does. These slow Corsairs not being able to kill it in time. I think that H.O.T-Forever did come out on top of in that he is now up in production or up in expansions and bases in general, and he did not lose all of that Devourer fleet. So he's certainly going to have going to be able to attack again fairly soon once he has some more Guardians and Scourge. I think Grrr's in a lot of trouble by the looks of things. Getting shield batteries now, 2 shield batteries, expecting a fairly swift attack. That's not a bad idea considering how small his aerial force is at the moment. But he does have a lot of Stargates and a Templar Archives going up now. So perhaps thinking maybe, or probably Storm actually. Storm is quite effective against those slow Guardians, but he could be thinking